Oh, hello everybody. We got a good one today. I'm calling it Max's Feast on my pork butt roast. Here are some of the things you're going to need. You're going to need a nice pan to sear it in, salt, garlic powder. I'm going to go through the spices here. Turns out, plot twist, the pan that I had there, the cast iron, was not big enough for this piece of meat that I had going on. So I had to get a bigger pan. And it's not the pan that I generally like to do this in, but it worked out really fine. Man, this recipe came out really good. So you need to build a rub. Look at the size of that pork butt. The thing's awesome. So you're going to get the bowl, and you're going to put all your spices in there, and you're going to create a rub. And then you're just going to rub it on the outside of the entire pork. This piece that I had was a little weird. It had a fold in it. So I kind of went inside with that. So here's everything getting mixed up together. And then I kind of wish I'd gone a little heavier on all of the things in there. Basically went teaspoon to half a teaspoon on all the ingredients. And I'll list the ingredients there in the description. So, okay, getting to the pork butt. I'm not going to use this whole thing because it's way too big. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to open it in the sink. Do not open this on your counter because it's going to give off liquid and it's going to bleed, and you don't want that on your counter. That's why I'm getting the sink ready. So I'm going to cut this into 4, and we're going to get 5 or 6, maybe even 7 good meals out of this because there's just so much of it. We bought this from Costco, and that's the only way you can buy it. So here we go. I'm going to cut that portion, and then I'm going to cut the whole thing in 4s, and I'm pretty stoked about this. Here are a couple of the pieces cut. There you go. And that's the one I'm going to go with because it has a nice fat cap on it. And that's the fat cap right there. It's just a layer of fat. And as we say, fat is flavor. Flavor is fat. So here is everything back up on that's the piece I'm going to use. I'm going to sear it in that, or I thought I was, but that's the one that I have to use now. Basically going to put a little bit of ghee at the bottom of that pan so it doesn't stick. I'm going to rub the entire piece of meat, and then I'm going to sear all 6 sides. The rest of the meat, you want to dry it, and you want to wrap it like I have here. I'm also about that at Costco. So you want to make sure you wrap this thing a number of times. You want to wrap it really well. I wrapped it in one direction, and then I wrapped it in another direction to make sure. And you want to dry this meat as well. So there we go. These are all wrapped up, and these are good to go. This one and this one I'm going to store in the freezer. So I may mention this in an earlier segment. You need to make sure they're dry. Use paper towels to dry them, not a shoulder towel like I had shown earlier. Use paper towels to dry them because these are going to be in the freezer. Any water in there could cause freezer burn and damage it and ruin it. And this is expensive meat. Pig gave its life for this meal, 4 meals to be exact. Respect it. This one's going to go in the fridge. We're going to do something with this a little later in the week. So that'll be fun. But that's how you store these things. Make sure they're nice and wrapped and dried when you wrap them. And if you can hear from my voice, it's a little different. I'm just getting over a cold. Last 2 days I felt like hell, which is why I hadn't done any voice work over the last 2 days. So let's get to the searing. All right, here's the meat at hand. We're about to rub it, and then we're going to sear it with a little bit of ghee. So here we go. We're searing. Basically, we're going to do all 4 sides. This piece of meat has kind of a fold in it, and I'm just going to sear around it. I'm not going to open it up and sear that part because I want that'll be fine. Just searing these 6 sides will be fine. As we say, as the verse in the comics says, go hard in the paint. Make sure this is really hot when you put it in. And you want to get almost this browning on each side really quickly. Okay, so go hard in the paint and just brown all 6 sides, and then you're ready for the oven. So I'm working on the 3rd side of the sear, and this is a big piece of meat. If you're using one this big, they can be, I often forget that I'm talking to people who might be nasty. They can be kind of tricky to move, especially this one. since it has a fold in it. Do what you have to get it moved, to get it rolled. If you got to move it off the heat, don't try to be a hero. Move it off the heat. Do what you get, 2 pairs of tongs, move it, flip it. Just do what you can. Don't burn yourself, because I mean, like I said, you're going hard in the paint with the heat, and yeah, don't burn yourself. So this is going pretty quick. Once you get the first 3 sides done, the last 3 sides are pretty easy, pretty fast. Just look how beautiful that is. This is a nice brown. This is the fat cap, and I think tomorrow I'll insert a section on explaining the fat cap and what it is and how you do it. The fat cap, some people say put it down when you're cooking, some people say put it up when you're cooking. And I'll do a segment tomorrow and I'll explain the fat cap and what I would like to do in a situation like this. Okay, here's the wrapping of it so you can put it in the oven. I'm going to show you, physically watch this. I'm going to explain the fat cap. Okay, the fat cap is designed, well, not designed, we use it to protect the meat from the heat. So if the heat is coming from above, I'll put the fat cap above. If it's coming from below, I'll put the fat cap below. And if you're braising, I'll put the fat cap on the top so the fat can melt and kind of get down into the meat and be absorbed into the meat. But here we go. That's how it's been cooked. That's the covered cook, the first part of this cooking, which is like cover for 3.5 hours at 350, and then after that you're gonna pull the tin foil off and just cook the rest of it from that way for about an hour and a half with it uncovered. So if you see that, the meat is already done. It's already fallen apart. I'll set that aside for little Nerdicane Jr. to eat. But let me show you when it's all done and mixed up. There we go. There's finished product. I've been poking at it. I've kind of broke it apart to give some to little Nerdicane Jr. But he really liked it. But I mean, he's like an eating machine. What are you doing? He's a maniac. But basically, once it's done, just kind of kick it around and shred it, and you can just plate this up. The rub that I use is pretty neutral, so you could put this in a taco, and you could hit this with some Cholula, or you could go barbecue with this. You can go a couple different ways with this because the rub that I put together was so neutral. It doesn't really go any specific direction. He's going nuts. He wants me to open this thing for him. Or maybe not. I don't know. He's getting upset. Alright, I gotta do an edit and take care of him. Okay. Baby boy. Okay. So yeah, you basically just do whatever you want with it. You can put this up in a sandwich. If you got some nice soft rolls, a little barbecue sauce, you can put this in a taco. Or you can just do like we're doing, since we're doing Whole30 and we can't eat those things that I miss already. You could just put it in on a plate with sweet potato and some kale, because kale is delicious. Yeah. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'm Nerdicane. You can hit me here. You can hit me on Twitter. If there's anything you guys want to see me make, let me know. Don't go too crazy with it, but I'll try to put together a version of it. In the next few weeks, I'm going to do a beef Wellington, and... Okay, I didn't think I was going to do the sides, but I'm going to do the sides. This is kale. We're just going to do a braised kale with Better Than Bouillon. Still waiting on that sponsorship, guys. That would be nice. So, those are the pans you're going to need. The Better Than Bouillon, a little bit of liquid, a nice pan. So, I'm cutting these things, and you want to get that stem out of there. That stem is hard, and it will never cook down to where you can eat it properly. If it does, then the rest of your leaf is going to be mush, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's just a V-shaped cut, just like that. And I'll show you some of these that I've done already, So you got the kale, and kale's a superfood. It's really, really good for you. It's really hard to get flavor out of kale, though. That's the problem. So I'm going to show you. You're going to need 4 cloves of garlic, chopped up, and then low and slow, you're gonna roast that garlic in the pan with some ghee. When that's done, you're gonna take the garlic and you're gonna put it into, set it aside. I have that tiny little bowl right there that I'm gonna put it in. Then I'm gonna put the stock into the pan, and that's when I'm gonna braise the kale, just like that, as you see here. Once again, low and slow, you're just softening it. You're not gonna try to turn that into mush. Keep that reserve. That's the garlic reserve. And it's almost ready. I'll show you. You're going to hit it with Parmesan at the end, too. So that's what it's going to look like when it's ready to go. I'm going to pull it out of there because there's still a little too much liquid at the bottom. And it goes really good with this stuff. There's a baked potato. 40-45 minutes, maybe an hour in the oven, since you have the oven going already. The potatoes are easy. I'm not even going to bother with the potatoes too much. If you can't cook a potato, you might be hopeless. So basically just going to add that, the garlic, kick it around with some tongs, and I will use the grater as I'm serving with the, just add the Parmesan to it. It's a really good Parmesan. This stuff's good. There it is, plated up. This was a great meal, and I got a couple of meals out of this. So, and see, there's plenty of leftover. But this came out really well. I'm really proud of this one. I hope you guys try this one. In the next few weeks, I'm going to do a beef Wellington, and that's going to be a very, very interesting video. That's something I love doing, and I haven't done in a long time. So, this is Nerdicane and Nerdicane Jr. saying thanks for watching, and goodbye.